I'm doing this for us. Life doesn't get to be ruled by a stupid box on the floor. Woo! Novel experiences, neural rewiring. It is Saturday, May 21st. I've been meaning to film it all day, but Roger and I have both been down with major migraines for most of the afternoon and evening, so I've not really been able to film. And I don't know how well I'm going to be able to film tomorrow morning, so I have to give this preface in this clip tonight, because when I had my appointment with my dietitian on Wednesday, we made the huge decision to tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, for me to get rid of my scale that I have at home once I got back into the spiral of weighing myself every day. And I expected this to be hard, but I feel ridiculous being surprised with just how hard it's been today. I have been reduced to tears multiple times because the terror of changing my routine, it's the first thing that I've done every morning for almost 300 days again. And I know that's disordered. I know the goal is to change it and to not be tied down to that number, but I also don't handle change well at all. And I don't handle changes in routines well specifically. Even if it will ultimately be a good change, I know it's going to be really difficult. It still feels so stupid to be 33 years old and crying about getting rid of a machine that tells me nothing except my relation to gravity at any given moment. And even then, it's not accurate because you can take it to several places in the house and it'll give you a different reading. I've been spending as much as I can this afternoon and evening time journaling about it, making a list of, the pros of stopping weighing myself and getting rid of my scale and the cons of if I kept doing it, what would that be? That didn't help so much. One thing that did help was going back to some of the old vlogs that I recorded on the channel that my husband and I run in 2016 and 2017 when I did have a period of time where I went 2 months without weighing myself. I have those videos for proof that I can do it, and while I don't necessarily recognize myself in the truth that I'm saying, I know that it was me, and I know that I said it, and I know that I believed those things at some point in time. It's just something I have to do. Weighing yourself is a recovery sabotaging behavior, and as hard as it's going to be, especially for the first however many days, weeks, however long it takes to feel any easier whatsoever to not do that every day. It's something I have to do if I want freedom, and ultimately I do. Oh, I feel so stupid. I've literally done this before. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to handle it. I don't know how I'm going to cope with it, other than to say that I'm going to, because I have to, because it has to be done, and I made this deal to do it tomorrow morning. Oh. Ultimately, I don't want my life to be ruled by a number. That's what it comes down to. I don't want my life to be ruled by a number. I don't want my day and my mood and my actions to be dictated by some flashing blue number that starts every single morning. That's just not what I want for life. And I know ultimately it will be good and lead to freedom. But right now it's just really freaking terrifying. And it's gotten exponentially more terrifying the closer I get to tomorrow morning, which makes perfect sense. It makes sense that my nervous system facing this change that's coming up is in total fight or flight mode and just wants to run away. As with many things, that's a sign that I just have to do it. I have to do it. I'm gonna go try to play some worship music to calm my mind. It's racing right now, and all I can think about is letting go of this stupid material object that for some reason has so much significance to me, and I wish it didn't, but it does. Hopefully less tears when we're filming tomorrow, but I can't promise anything. Alright, it's Sunday morning. I got it out of the bathroom. This is the one that I've used every morning for now 299 days. There's something poetic about not making it to day 300. Still freaking out a bit. I have spent all morning writing a goodbye letter to my scale. Actually, I've written like 3+ pages in my journal and have a feeling I'm going to be adding to it all day. But got this one here. There's still another one that I got to take care of though that I know is in our basement, even though I haven't used it for years. But I know it's there, so if I give this one to Roger and I say, oh yeah, I'm getting rid of the scale in the house, I know there's still technically one I could use. So I'm literally sweating. My heart is racing. My face is red. I know this has to be done. I know this has to be done. I can do it. I have proof that I've done it before, and it does get easier over time, even though the first few to several days or weeks just suck. Let's go get it. It's in that bag right there. Okay, I got it from the basement, and quick story time. When I had to go into treatment 3 months after we got married in 2011, Roger hid the scale in our house. I didn't use it for a while, then of course got back stuck in the cycle. However, didn't want him to know that, and eating disorders are sneaky and they like to lie, even though I hate lying. So I actually went and bought this scale when I was working one day, and carried it around with me in this huge Hello Kitty bag, and to make sure no one knew exactly what was going on, I also put it inside this fossil bag, which is what my messenger bag came in. But here it is. Didn't realize it's actually the same brand as this one, Health-O-Meter, which is a lie because it does anything but indicate health. I could have just left this one in the basement and tried to forget about it and tried to tell Roger, yeah, I'm getting rid of the other one and all's well. But I know that wouldn't be true. I know that wouldn't be true. I know that in a moment of weakness, I would go down to the basement and seek it out and use it. And I'm not okay with inviting that into my life anymore, even though it sucks and even though it's terrifying. My shirt, by the way, this is my Eminem shirt because I've been listening to him all morning to get myself psyched up. I've been playing a lot of songs, but I've also repeatedly been playing Lose Yourself and Not Afraid because I just can't keep living this way. So starting today, I'm breaking out of this cage. I'm standing up. I'm going to face my demons. I'm manning up. I'm going to hold my ground. I've had enough. I'm so fed up. Time to get my life back together right now, even though my breath is literally shaky because I'm so scared and I'm trying not to cry. You're a liar. This is the truth. I'm claiming the truth. The next part of this process involves setting up the Clear Step numberless scale, which I'm going to be using with my dietitian, so she can still monitor my weight virtually, and I know that someone who is actually having an objective view and is a professional is keeping track of it, so I don't have to worry about that because I am going through weight restoration and it has to happen. I'm just not letting it happen when I'm the one checking it. I can't afford to be stuck anymore. So we'll do a full review on this at some point in the future. And here it is. No numbers at all. Wish me luck. Found one more thing in that purse that I found in the basement, and that's a guide to that scale that was in there. So we're going to go ahead and throw that away too, just because I can. So I was setting the scales out there by Roger's stuff so he can take them when he leaves so they can get out of the house. And he came into the room and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And my instant response was to leave the room fast and say nothing that I want to do, nothing that I actually want to do, nothing that I feel like doing. I'm trying to not freaking flip out right now because I have to do this and I don't want to. But then I realized that's not a place of power. And if I'm doing this, I gotta claim the power. So this is what I was doing. Putting that there for you. And I refused to let it have the power of freaking me out to not even explain to you what I was doing. There you go. He's getting ready to head to church for Sunday morning services to play. And he's going to take these and do something with them. He's currently just going to relocate them because I have plans, and not good plans. They are plans of destruction and destroying. I just don't know exactly what they are yet. So put a sign on there saying I'm doing this for us because that's ultimately what I'm doing because our life doesn't get to be ruled by a stupid box on the floor. And he sees both of them there. I don't know if you remember that I had the one hiding in the basement, but it's there because accountability. So he's taking them out. All right, they're out of the house. This is suddenly real again. My face is like shiny because I'm sweating and crying, but gonna be worth it. Putting my sign here that I wrote to put on that for Roger that said I'm doing this for us. I'm gonna put that on top of my Clear Step scale, or at least tape it up beside it so I can see it every time I have to get on this. We've got one more thing to do. And because I'm determined to give a signal to my brain that this is actually a good thing and not the horrible, terrifying thing that it's telling me it is right now, we're gonna throw some celebration in there to try to rewire those neural pathways. So, got rid of the scale today. Woo! There's confetti of the old workbook. Now I gotta clean all this up, but gotta do whatever it takes. All right, here's the deal. Did the scale thing this morning. We're now over here at my parents' house. Roger and I are coming over to enjoy their swimming pool. Hey, what you got there? Got those scales? Yep. Scale. Okay, he is going to hide those. I didn't know they were right behind me until we were on our way over here, and he told me. He is going to take those into my parents' house. They are going to hide them. Oh, mosquito in the car. I killed it dead. He's going to take them in the house. My parents are going to hide them somewhere completely obscure in their house. I will never go looking for them, but they are only holding on to them for me, like I mentioned earlier, until I can come up with the precise way that I want to destroy and demolish them. Oh, crap. Stupid mosquito. I did not kill it dead. I'm trying to kill it dead. It's being a little jerk. Still kind of freaking out a little bit. So I told Roger, in addition to the confetti that I threw earlier to celebrate, I'm just trying to think of all of the novel ways that we can celebrate stuff that we don't normally do on a day-to-day basis to cement this big major milestone step as a victory to my brain and continue to rewire those neural pathways. So it's about 20 degrees colder than it was yesterday. It was way too hot for me to be over here when everyone else was in the pool yesterday. It's so much cooler and overcast today. I'm gonna go hang my legs over the side of their saltwater pool that literally just opened and celebrate this day for the victory that it is.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing. Wake up.
In the name of novel experiences, I also have not even had my feet in a pool since our honeymoon at our resort at Disney World. It's the last time I was in a pool of any kind. And
really?
We're enjoying this today. Yeah, I've never been in Donna's pool.
Did we go to the beach after No?
Nope, last time I was in the beach was 2010.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You've gone down to the beach a couple times, but no, I've not. 10 years ago is the last time I ever was in any kind of pool whatsoever. Can't so much get in it right now because feeding tube and central line, but this is awesome. And there's no chlorine, so double win. Novel experiences, neural rewiring.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your
All right, it's the
affirmations.
next day, Monday, May 23rd, which means that today is actually the first day that I had to go without doing my very elaborate, very intricate, very intentional and deliberate morning ritual with the scale. And I want to first just say, stuck to the plan, of course. I mean, the scale's gone, so I couldn't have done it anyway. And I tried to do other things this morning to kind of start the morning, but honestly, I texted my coach and I said, I feel lost. I feel like the day just started off wrong, or I feel like the day's just off. I feel completely lost. I don't know what to do. I feel ridiculous for feeling lost, but also that was my routine for literally 299 days. This is the first day in 300 days. That has not been my exact morning routine. And it's really messed with me, and I've had to try to just distract myself with things that have nothing to do with it. I have had friends on all morning. I've tried to just play music or listen to podcasts that are enjoyable. And then I've also done a little thinking about what my morning routine maybe could look like. And one strategy that I'm kind of using to cope with all of this, and I'm not doing it successfully or very well just yet, I'm doing my best to reframe this as like, okay, I can now be excited about experimenting with a morning routine that actually works to serve me and my values and the long-term goal, which is healing and freedom and recovery. That sounds excellent in theory. It's just a lot harder to put into practice. I feel like there's literally just this extension of me that has just been completely taken away now. It's gone. And I know that sounds ridiculous. Know that that's the disorder talking. And I know that too. I'm not saying that I actually think the scale has any greater value in life. It is an inanimate object that should have no bearing on my life. However, with eating disorders often comes a stupid attachment to something like the scale. So it's been a rough morning so far. It's like I don't know what to do. My brain also, outside of the eating disorder itself, I have a couple of other conditions that are kind of rooted in routine and rigidity and ritualistic type patterns. I know that I ultimately have to do this, but it is like coming at me from all of these different angles. Thankfully, today and tomorrow, I'm attending the Grow with Video Live conference, which is put on by Think Media, and they have an awesome lineup of speakers this year. It's going to be so great. It goes over the next 2 days. This is the third time I've been able to attend Growth Video Live, and I've never actually been there live. They are back in person this year, but thankfully they still offer the virtual option, and I'm glad that I have that the next 2 days to focus on. I also have therapy today, and then I have 2 different appointments tomorrow, so it's going to be an extremely busy 2 days, but I'm honestly really thankful because that means my mind will have something to focus on that is not just this horrible feeling of wanting to scream because I feel like my day is off or it's wrong or like I'm lost because I didn't start the day the way that I have for almost 300 days. Didn't make it 300 days again. So really trying to see that as good poetic serendipity and not annoying, even though my obsessive compulsive nature wants to say, nope, that's annoying. You should have just pushed it forward today and gone to 300. Stupid, driven by disorder. That's a lie, calling it out.
The grass is not greener, though, on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it.
It is 8:51 p.m. now. Conference has been going all day, except for the break in the conference, which was about an hour and a half, which coincided perfectly with my therapy session today. So thankfully, on this day where I've been feeling just so spazzy and freaking out, I've at least had things to occupy my mind, and that's been nice. I may or may not have taken 21 pages of handwritten notes at the conference, so lots of good insight. And there are several things that I made note of that I'm like, yes, this applies to YouTube and business, but it also applies to recovery. Like just the concept of it is possible, which sounds basic, and it is, but just hearing that in the middle of a motivational TED Talk style presentation today, I don't know, gave me confidence that it actually is. On YouTube and in recovery. You can rest, but just don't give up because it takes time, whatever it is. Information is useless without action. You can only get better at something by doing. There is no replacement for repetition, because repetition is the mother of mastery. This is just a kind of catchy one that I love. Someone emphasized putting the you in YouTube, meaning putting your personality into your content, sharing yourself with the world, not trying to be anyone else, just being uniquely you and finding what it is that makes yourself you, and then being that light to the world. I just thought that wordplay was fun. And along those same lines, embrace your weird. It's not a new statement, I've heard it before, but again, in the context of everything, I'm definitely on that conference high, and I also know that I've got a lot of implementable, practical action and tactical steps. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Now I'm looking forward to crashing so I can do this all again tomorrow. Made it through day 1 of not having my scale, of having no idea what I weigh. And I kind of want to scream and run away from this whole process, but I'm not, because it has to be done. Day 1 down. It is Wednesday, May 25th, which means it is day 3 of not having my scale in the house at all and not having any idea what I weigh because I'm not weighing myself anymore. And while I wish that were only liberating to say, it's still kind of terrifying, because as I've explained to Roger, as I've explained to literally my entire team at this point, when they asked me how I was, dealing with it, I just keep saying I feel lost. I feel like there's been an extension of me that has been taken away, and I don't know what to do with my days. My day feels off. It feels wrong. I just feel lost on what to do because I don't get to start my morning the way that my brain that thrives on routine and rigidity and ritualistic behavior thinks that it needs to start the day. And today, day 3, is the first day where I've had nothing really going on most of the day. Monday and Tuesday, I was doing that virtual video conference, and that at least gave my brain something to focus on, and I was busy taking notes. I was busy interacting and engaging in the chat. I was busy watching from like 10:30 a.m. until 9 p.m. on those 2 days, and so that at least gave me something for my mind to be occupied with that was not just dwelling on how horrible I feel. So I was texting my coach this morning, and I told her, I said, I'm glad I had that conference for 2 days because it gave me something to focus on. Now this morning, when I have nothing like that, and I am not successfully finding anything to keep my brain distracted, I don't know what to do. I feel lost. I feel like my day is off. I feel like my day is wrong. I feel like I don't know what to do with this extension of myself that's been taken away. And then I said, I feel pathetic for even feeling that way, and I'm infuriated that I feel that way. And she pointed out something that has come up in other conversations as well, just acknowledging that, feeling off or like things are wrong is kind of to be expected because this has been my routine for years. Yes, this current streak got cut at like 299 days, but honestly, I've had this disordered relationship with the scale since 2003. So it's natural to feel like it's sort of part of me that has been taken away, but that doesn't mean that it's optional to put it back in my life. It has to stay out. It's like if anything important were to just disappear suddenly, you're going to feel that sense of loss. And then, of course, reassured me that what I'm experiencing right now in the context of how I'm experiencing it is in fact normal and that it is in fact not pathetic. And we ended that conversation just kind of talking about trying to find a new morning routine or habit that is in no way related to my eating disorder, but can still start my day off in a way that makes me feel like I'm empowered and I am taking charge of the day and not lost. Not that the scale actually was empowered, but it's that falsely perceived sense of control. I want to clarify that, of course. I have actively been trying to tell my brain, yes, you can be excited. It's exciting to experiment with new things and figure new things out because I know that should be the case, but also I hate change. Even if it's good change, it's really hard for me to handle. This is not necessarily a good change as far as feeling good right now. It will be a good change in the long term. I know that, which is why I'm sticking to it. I'm just still in that phase where I'm feeling lost. I wake up in the morning, I'm not doing that same routine that I've done for so many years, and I feel lost. I feel kind of pathetic. It's not pathetic. It just is what it is, and it takes the time it takes. But if nothing else, these past 3 days have proven I can, in fact, do hard things. Even a month ago, I would have told you this was impossible, and I've done it. I'm really hoping that sooner rather than later, I'll have the same experience that I had in 2016 and 17 when I went without the scale for 2 months, where about at the 1 week mark, I had made a note in a vlog that it got exponentially easier, and I didn't even really have the urge to start the day by stepping on the scale. I also was not trying to climb back out of a relapse at that point in time, though, so there are a lot of different variables this time than there were in 2016, 2017, but the point is, I have those videos that I can look back on from those years as proof that yes, Becca, was able to do this before. It did in fact get easier. It may in fact take longer this time since I am in a place that is so much further down the spiral than I was last time. However, I have those videos as proof that it's possible, and I'm just going to go back and rewatch those when I need the reminders and or turn to the journal entry that I wrote the other night where I literally just wrote down verbatim quotes from the videos that I knew I would need to turn to again and again when I got overwhelmed with this feeling of not knowing what to do and feeling lost in my life. And as hard as this is, it's also not optional. It's something that has to be done. It's proof that I can do hard things. I still kind of want to scream because of all the tension right now, but I'm just on day 3, and this is now a forever life thing. So I'm at the very beginning. The ultimate goal is to live life that is not dictated by the numbers on a machine, but the only way that can actually be reality is if I stick to the plan. I continue treating it as not even an option. I don't invite it back into my life. I continue taking the next right recovery step forward, and that means letting go of what I sometimes referred to as the evil numbers machine. 3 days down and a lifetime to go. See you in the next one.